Eric Bostrom still leads with Colin Edwards in second, Troy Bayliss third, a three-way battle for the lead.
I had a decade's worth of back pain, headaches from compressing my cervical spine. What? The BackMate ventures, it's kind of like this expanding mix between racing and injuries. It's literally kind of turned around my life. Found a very tense spot.
So I'm delighted today to sit down and have a chat with an absolute motorcycle legend. He started riding when he was just 5 years old. Him and his brother took over flat track road racing. He's a multi-race winner, multi-championship winner. He's the one and only Eric Bostrom. How you doing, buddy?
How are you doing, man? Good to see you, brother.
Now you've finished your racing career and you're really moving over into a whole new venture altogether. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so the BackMate ventures, it's kind of like this expanding, what I think is this mix between racing and injuries, and then into like, how do I make my life better for the next, however many years I get, and then how do I transfer that into other people's lives? Because I see so many problems in society and the way people deal with their health. And personally, like I had a decade's worth of back pain, headaches from compressing my cervical spine, and we have to deal with these problems ourselves.
I'm a back pain sufferer too. Racing, you get thrown around. Those injuries for me have really carried over now into my life after racing. I never really thought about it when I was riding too much, to be honest with you. It was just part of the game. So I'm now only like a few weeks into actually trying the BackMate. And for me, it's a self-massaging therapy tool, right? It's a really ingenious piece of equipment.
That's the best compliment we could possibly have, right? So the more we can connect the dots, we can get people off medication. Medication really stops the natural healing process.
Yeah.
We want to promote that. And by interacting with the nervous system, with the massage, we can kind of calm the brain and get the body back to healing, as opposed to being in a sort of locked state, which is common of an injury where you have too much tension or inflammation in the area, and the body kind of goes into this state of not repair.
And I also feel that, in this day and age, we're always just sitting down as well, aren't we? We're like sat replying to emails, we're watching TV, or you're sat in your car, you're sat on a motorcycle. There's lots of sitting, and we're not designed, I don't think, as a human body just to do so much sitting. And for me, I feel that it's just made my injuries kind of worse. Now my lifestyle, I'm sat down a lot more. And now my back pain is, I think, almost worse than it was when I was racing. Because at least when I was racing, I was fairly healthy, I was stretching, and I was more active. And now I'm not. It's kind of catching up with me. So, it's not just for people with injuries like ourselves. It's also for people who have back pain and just have from everyday life.
Yeah, you've nailed it with the movement. It's a really big part of the puzzle. We need to move. We need to sleep good. We need to have a good working situation, meaning not slumped over. And I really believe that we're on the edge of the next pandemic, I should say, which is the technic pandemic coming. Because if you walk on any subway anywhere in the US or anywhere where there's a group of people, count how many of them are slumped over staring at their phone. With that, we're seeing kids with back pain in the teens, 20s. It's a growing problem, and it's the sad part is pretty easy to address. It really only takes a couple minutes. In about a minute, we can manipulate the nervous system. If I can have a gift to give, it's I got an early start at this. Like I started smashing myself at a young age, just like you. I know what pain is, and I've learned how to get away from it. And unfortunately, I think a lot of people will start flirting with pain later in their life, and they kind of give up on themselves, and then they go into that route of like medication, and ultimately it will never work because that stops the natural healing process, and then they're left with this other extreme route, which is surgery. And it's like, no, you need to stay down the middle by taking care of yourself.
With you having so much experience of pain on many levels of your body, right? I can't imagine how many bones you've broken, but I'm probably over 30. I'm pretty sure you're the same.
Over 50 or 100. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's a scary.
Too many to count.
Yeah, that's when I worry, when you think, how many times did I break my ankle, or how many times did I break my wrist? But you've come from like pain all over your body, but it's all connected. Everything's connected, and that's the integral part of what I love about the BackMate. Is how many positions that you can kind of put the BackMate in It's designed to go in your doorway. So how high is a doorway?
Head to
put
toe.
head to toe, right? Exactly, and very easy to use. I mean, I could even use it. So like super simple. You've got all of those different, what do you call them, wheels?
Yeah.
So you can really kind of pinpoint the area. So for me, I really found it was like, you could work your neck, you could work your shoulders, you could work your lower back. Did you come up with the design as well?
Yeah. My partner and I came up with the design, and the design challenge was great because it was difficult to make it just like rack right in the door and also be able to articulate in so many different directions.
For me, I have a lot of lower back pain, so I found it got me into a position where, I could really hit the spot. And then the next day I felt better, but when I went back to the BackMate again, the spot had moved, and I'm working it out. And sometimes when you go for a massage, they just never hit the spot.
You nailed it with the exploration process. It's one of my favorite things, to be able to feel the body. And it's so often that you think, okay, I have maybe this headache or neck pain, and then you get deeper down into it and you realize that it's actually coming from the mid-spine and thoracic spine. The BackMate can help anybody heal. I'm a firm believer in that. And it's not like you necessarily need one tool or another, but you need to have this mindset of, I need to get educated enough to understand my body and avoid these very obvious directions that the majority of society is doing, which is the medication and the surgeries, because those are both blind alleys.
Well, I mean, medication's only going to dull the pain. It's not going to fix your body, is it?
True.
And we have to fix ourselves a lot of the time, because therapists can only do so much too. That's why the BackMate's good too, because you can do this at home, right? So it's not saying don't go and see a therapist, but this is something you can do after a therapy session, or you can really work at home.
It needs to become part of your lifestyle. And if you're experiencing pain, in whether it's lower back pain or neck pain, your therapist can't come to your door and say, hey, I'm here to help you out with that. Certainly the therapists are really great, and it should be a part of anyone that is experiencing long-term pain, to have a tool that can address the pain right then and put your body back on a good path. And that's where the science is really coming out about how we can affect the nervous system. And that's the most exciting part, because it's really backing up the mechanism, which is, massage has been proven to be a great technique over thousands of years, but there's really not been a ton of science why. And now the science is kind of catching up to it.
I think it's amazing that you've come up with a product by using your own experience from motorcycle racing, injuries, and all of the amazing people. Because I remember with my racing, being a part of Dr. Costa's medical crew when it was Grand Prix racing was phenomenal. I learned so much then about the human body, about my own body, what I needed to take care of, and the stretching. And then you've taken that experience. So you must have come across amazing
I've had
orthopedic surgeons and all of these kind of people that you've met along the way, right? So you really put all of that into this one package.
As much knowledge and expertise as they brought to the field, they couldn't be here with me in my home every day, right?
Exactly.
So it's sort of marrying those two together.
It's amazing. I've only had mine like a couple of weeks, but having back pain, my wife knowing how grumpy I am with my back pain at times as well, and how it affects my sleep. And then now when I complain about my back pain to my wife, she just get on the BackMate. So already it's kind of getting to be a part of my daily life.
That's really it. It's amazing what you can do in just a minute or two. And we've done some testing with it, and you can see changes in the brain on how it affects the body as a whole. And it's just a couple of minutes. And what's a couple of minutes when you're maybe at your desk and you're like, I'm in pain right now. And then you just sit there and you stay in pain for the rest of the day. It just makes sense. You can get up and address it, it'll be gone in a minute.
Once you start having back pain, and it's such a grind, after actually a number of years of having constant back pain, you kind of just put up with it. And which is stupid, because you just don't have to.
And you're not yourself anymore. You're like, because your mood's kind of down. You're like, why am I kind of glum today? Well,
and you can't sleep properly, and everything ricochets from there.
Right, exactly. And that's it, because you didn't sleep properly. You're kind of down, and then your body goes into this state of non-healing, as opposed to sleep, recovery, get the movement going, and start the process all over again. And you're back in action, back to business.
Backache also comes out of nowhere sometimes. You know, it could come from doing some physical exercise that you're not used to doing. It could come from just tripping and falling or working in the garden and being bent over. I mean, it comes out of like loads of things. To having something at home that you can easily put up. I mean, that's the solution, right?
It's definitely part of the solution.
Yeah,
and back pain, like, you know, is probably most frustrating and the most despair when you're like, I haven't done anything.
Yeah.
And these spasms come on. But again, the spasms are a reaction from the nervous system to the muscle. And if we can scramble those signals and get the brain to calm down, then the muscle calms down. So yes, we can address those things very fast. And we need to do that, because the other side of it is if you don't do anything, those spasms come, and they'll come in shorter intervals, and you end up spending a lot more time in pain.
Do you want to aim this at the motorcycle industry? Are you trying to aim this at friends and family? Are you trying to get this on the mass market and the mass scale? Where are you at with the design and the whole concept of this now?
Yeah, we're into that you know, trying to find our tribe. And definitely the motorcycle two-wheel tribe is my tribe. Like, we tend to end up in some pain. So it's the starting block for us. It's definitely getting to first base. And eventually we really want to reach the mainstream of society, right. The ones that are probably in the most pain.
For me, I'm already on board. For everybody out there, look at that camera. Would you tell them where they can find your product?
We are at mybackmate.com, and I really sincerely hope that it's the best $150 you've ever spent. If not, send it back. Like, we have a 1-year guarantee, but if you can get into the education on it, it's where it's at. It's saved. It's literally kind of turned around my life. So mybackmate.com, and I'll see you out on the motorcycle. All right, let's take a look at the BackMate. Really a simple device made out of 304 stainless steel. It's really durable, lasts a lifetime. This is how it locks in the doorway. So you expand the lever in the doorway, and then you lock it in. It's that easy. And then with the wheels, you just are able to change out the wheel sets with a push of a button, and there's 2 different spacings on the wheel, so you can go wider and narrower. Let's go take a look at it and how it works in the doorway. Very simply, you release the handle, sit it in the doorway where you want it to be, and then you just lock it into place. After that, you can adjust the head angle. I did forget that you know, it articulates in any direction. So in this case, we're going to have it going straight down. Here, I'm just pushing straight up towards the ceiling, and I can also move my neck or head away so that I can elongate those muscles, and then I can bring my head back if I find I'm found a very tense spot. So this one's really great for tech neck referral pain to the hands. If I want to change up, I can spin it up, go straight, go ahead and level out the wheels. I'll go ahead and put the more acute disc wheels on there. These are for adding more pressure, and I can come right back and begin to massage the back of my neck. So that's the ins and outs of the BackMate. A really easy, fast setup to address active recovery for the entire body. I really recommend that we get out and we move, and we continue to promote movement and interact with the nervous system. Quick to address pain, and then of course accelerate the recovery process. So thanks for having a look. Please check it out online, mybackmate.com.
If you're out there, ladies and gentlemen, and you need some help with back pain, check out BackMate.
Well, the thrill might be going for Eric Bostrom. He did a 1:31 lap time from a dead stop. That puts you on the second row in a 600 Supersport race. Now they're into the 26s as the tires get up to temperature.